So, like, one of the things is, like, with 40K is there are gods that actually exist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there is the God Emperor of Mankind, who isn't a god, but is kind of like a god, but was a real person.
Sure.
And his body is currently interred on the Golden Throne. He's kind of like a half-alive, half-dead psychic corpse of some kind.
Right.
So here, there's that. Then there's the Eldar, which are like the space elves. They have a bunch of gods. Most of them are dead at this point.
Okay.
There is, I think, the Avatar of Cain, which is a avatar of one of the gods, which is basically like a greater demon, essentially. And then there's the orcs have Gork and Mork as their gods.
Gork.
One is cunning, but Gork and Mork. One is cunning but brutal, and the other is brutal but cunning.
This feels like very orc behavior.
Yes,
So-
well, the orcs in 40K are the orkiest orcs that have ever orked.
Yeah, they definitely sound that way.
They are fantastic.
Yeah.
The Tau don't really have a god, but they're kind of maybe birthing a minor god in the warp. So the thing with 40K, and the thing with the religions in 40K, is that everything in 40K is really based on like a power of belief. So the more you actually have creatures or beings or people, whatever you want to call them, the more you have sentient creatures believing in something, the more it is likely to actually exist and have powers.
Oh, okay. So belief manifests in a physical way.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
So, like, the 4 Chaos Gods
Yeah.
are Blood, which is Khorne. He's the god of violence, hate, honorable combat, such like that. Then you have Slaanesh is his opposite, where Slaanesh is the prince of excess and everything in way too much, like overstimulation, rites of colors, drug-fueled ecstasy, kind of that type of shit. So decadence.
Yeah.
The god that we're dealing with the Thousand Suns that we've been killing would be Tzeentch, which is the changer of ways, fate, destiny, and magic. And then the opposite of him is Nurgle, which is the lord of rot, decay, pestilence, disease.
Okay.
And so their manifestation is mainly because of humans. And they are dealing with like some more of the emotional state, because humans are pretty psychically active race.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
There are both psychers and just their presence. There's so many of them, and they have varied beliefs and fears and emotions that when we talk about like the stuff, when we talk about the warp in here, I think we have a couple times maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the warp is how we travel faster than light.
Okay. Yeah.
It's basically hyperspace.
It's your Stargate. It's your warp drive.
So yeah, we have warp drives.
Yeah.
The problem is that like most sci-fi, your FTL and your warp drives and things like that, it just kind of moves you through physical space at outrageous speeds or breaks the laws of physics.
Yeah.
40K doesn't do that because they have an alternate dimension called the warp.
Oh, okay. So they move through like a pocket dimension?
It's I wouldn't even call it a pocket dimension because it's kind of omnipresent.
Oh,
as far as I'm aware.
Okay.
But the warp is essentially, so this is the material realm we're in. Kind of think of it like Soul Reaver.
Okay. Okay.
So where he can go into the spectral realm.
Sure.
Well, the warp is the basically a realm of psychic energy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it's tumultuous to say the least.
Oh, sure.
So the Chaos Gods aren't real like physical beings, they are warp entities, giant, massive warp entities with consciousness.
Okay. Okay.
And so the demons, like the Zangors, I think we might have already fought, those little goat demon things.
Sure.
Demons are manifestations of the warp.
Okay. Okay.
But when we're flying through the warp, in our ships here,
Yeah.
we are just flying
When we're flying through the warp.
space hell.
Yeah.
My game just crashed.
So here's kind of like what I'm imagining.
Yeah.
In X-Men, there's Nightcrawler. Nightcrawler can, like, phase out of existence. He goes to a different, like, a hell
Doesn't
world.
he canonically go through hell to get wherever?
There's, like, a hell dimension that he goes through that allows him to move much further in a physical space to essentially warp from point A to point B. So is that sort of what the warp is, but just on a much larger scale?
Yeah. The only difference there is that I don't know how time warps through for Nightcrawler while he's in that dimension.
I'm not sure. I think
But-
for him it's in real time. But he can go further than he would be able to go in real time and space.
Okay. The difference is that warp time in 40K is not linear and is not predictable.
Okay.
So if you go into the warp now, there's all possibility. For instance, if you have to use the warp to get like basically anywhere far-reaching in the 40K. So if you pop into the warp, which is like sending a rocket to the moon, it's difficult and dangerous.
Sure.
But if you were to pop into the warp and say you have a place you need to go to, and because there's a war going on, you could get there when you expect to get there. You could get there months late.
Okay.
You could get there years late. You could get there centuries late.
Okay.
You could also get there before you left.
Okay.
There's possibilities that you, by going through the warp, have either missed every opportunity to be active in whatever happens where you were, or you could get there before the event actually happens.
Okay.
There is one really fun, I think it's a shorter story. There's one shorter story with an instance of an orc, because orcs are silly bastards. And so this orc, they were pirates, as they do. They like looting and shooting, and this orc had he had a gun that was really just his favorite gun.
Oh, sure.
And so they went to go through the warp for something, whatever they're doing, to go somewhere else, go pillaging and do what orcs do. Except they came out of the warp before they had gone into the warp around the same location.
Oh. Okay.
And the orc decided that, hey, isn't that my fleet? Yeah. Okay. But doesn't that mean that I'm over there with my favorite gun? Boy howdy, it'd be really cool if I had another copy of my favorite fucking gun. And so this orc that went accidentally back in time proceeded to kill himself on the other end to get a version of his gun a second time. Because orcs do be smart like that. And I believe after he killed the first iteration of him, grandfather paradox, if you go back in time and kill your grandfather, well, the orc decided to go back in time and kill himself and obliterated himself from existence.
Great.
And then the orc fleets that were both there were suddenly in very confused disarray and just kind of dissipated.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So-
yeah. So
this is kind of like if it were Doctor Who, but Doctor Who had less idea where he was actually headed in the TARDIS. You just push a random button in the TARDIS and you just end up somewhere. You don't know when or where.
It's Hitchhiker's Guide.
Yeah, okay, so more like Hitchhiker's Guide, probably. Okay.
Yeah. So warp is a necessary hell dimension we need, and then psychers, like anyone using magic,
Yeah.
their power is drawn from that hell dimension.
Okay.
And everything is powered by souls.
Okay.
So souls are really powerful, and the more belief you have in something, the more you manifest it, and it's all sorts of crazy. The orcs have a collective psychic field about their race entirely,
Okay.
which is called the Wog, or Wah. I'm not going to scream it for you,
Okay.
because that's how they do it. But the orc Wah is basically a psychic phenomena that the orcs create with their being, which is, if enough orcs believe a thing, the thing is true.
Okay. Got it.
So this game doesn't have orcs in it. The first game did, but essentially, if you ever see an orc, like anything technological that an orc has,
Yeah.
or their guns or anything, none of it should be able to work. It's all
Oh.
cobbled together scrap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It looks like a gun. They think it's a gun.
Yeah.
So it's a
So
gun.
it's a gun. Yeah. So the belief literally manifests itself in a real, tangible, physical way.
Yes. On the other side of this, it's also true if the orc believes it, and it shouldn't be true. It also is true. In this case, another scenario where a troop of like Astromilitarium, the guard that were on the planet with, like the Cadians.
Sure. Yeah.
There were this regiment fighting the orcs, and they didn't get any resupply, so they were out of ammo. And some brilliant commissar or officer or someone said, "Listen, I know we are out of ammo and we're gonna fucking die here, but trust me on this. Just point your fucking guns at them and make gun sounds with your mouth."
Okay.
And do you know what happened?
It worked?
Yeah, orcs are like, it sounds like a gun and they've got guns, therefore they should be shooting us with guns and we die.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question that I have. So if like gods can be like built out of belief and stuff, if people just stopped believing in the god, or if the like thing that they represent stopped appearing in the world, like your god of vices, people stopped becoming, stopped using those vices, stopped believing in that, became more pious perhaps, would those gods eventually stop existing?
That is one of the theories. Obviously, it's not going to ever happen in 40K because that would ruin the setting.
Sure.
But there are both audience and community members like theorizing it, that would be a thing. And there's also a tad bit of credence in the lore where, in some of the books that I've read, there was this cabal of aliens who were like, yeah, we kind of want to get rid of chaos because it's really bad for everybody. Like, think of all the bad guys that you could have in the universe of anything,
Yeah.
and chaos is like the worst case scenario for most of it.
Sure. Yeah.
Just by its existence being what it is.
Yeah.
And so they went, hey, here's our plan. Like, to get rid of chaos, we kind of just need humanity to, like, die off. Because they're its biggest food source, essentially.
Sure.
And not even just belief in them existing just fuels chaos.
Yeah.
Because of how humanity's nature.
Yeah.
Because their souls are yummy and they are full of emotions. And so they went, yeah, if humanity just dies off, then the chaos gods and all of chaos will lose power pretty rapidly. And within a few generations of humanity dying, chaos will starve itself to death.
Okay. But they're probably not going to test that theory.
Yeah. The whole premise of that in the lore was that they went, hey, we want to do this, and this is a lore point, but, like, this outcome has already been decided by the fact 40K is 40K.
Sure.
That this did not happen.
So if I come up with a scenario like maybe the God Emperor that requires like 1,000 psychers to feed it every day didn't actually need all of that, and he's fine. That potentially could work if people believed that, but also the setting's not going to do that because that's the established thing that people had believed to begin with. Or that's what people believe that got you here. So
that's not even a belief, that's just an actuality.
It's just an actuality that you okay. All right.
Yeah, that he's requires that, because without the Emperor being where he is on the Golden Throne, basically there is no warp travel anymore. Because like his psychic essence is basically a lighthouse.
Oh.
Yeah, and without that beacon, boy, warp travel's a lot less safe and harder to navigate.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, so he's corpse lighthouse.
Corpse
the funny
lighthouse.
thing,
Fun.
yeah, corpse lighthouse.
Okay.
The funnier thing there too is there's a belief that with the Orcs' collective Wa, in them knowing that the Emperor is like the golden Hume, like the ultimate badass motherfucking Hume, you're like, oh my god, he was able to kill all these guys. He's got a reputation with the Orcs that he's like, they want to take on the Emperor because they view him as like the ultimate, like, not enemy, but like test of their orkiness, essentially, kind of deal.
Okay. Yeah.
And so there's a belief, there's I don't think it's lore, but there's like a theory that the Orcs believe the Emperor is like unkillable.
Uh-huh.
Or can't die, or that he's still alive, essentially, and so he fucking is. It's
okay.
There's a bit of whimsy in 40K in the grim darkness of it.
Sure.
And most of the whimsy is circulated through the Orcs.
Yeah, that is interesting though, because then it makes me start thinking, like, if the Orcs decided that the God Emperor was actually very much like, they just decide one day that he was dead, would that actually cause him to die? But more importantly, would that actually cause the warp itself to collapse? And then if that happens, does that screw up all of time and space? And would the Orcs then have even remembered that they wanted the
This is
God
too many questions all at once, Nate.
Yeah. Okay. But you
Orcs don't have that much forethought.
so the reason why that wouldn't happen is because the Orcs didn't think that far ahead.
They don't think very hard. They think, when's the next fight?
Well, it's a good thing that their imagination essentially builds reality around them.
Yeah. So the other thing that is actually canon is that if all the Orcs were able to stop like fighting each other,
yeah,
for fucking just a minute or two, like, they would overrun the galaxy completely. Like, they are a strong enough force, and a force of nature, essentially, that if they were able to just get their shit together and all come together and stop killing themselves,
right,
by fighting with each other,
yeah,
they would hands down just win.
Oh, so they're like raw power, but unfocused raw power. So
yeah,
you can't. Yeah, so that's why they haven't ultra succeeded.
Yeah, they're fighting to fight. They're not fighting to conquest.
Got it. There's no master plan like some of the other factions have.
Like, some of them want to see the entire universe burn. The Tyranids, for instance, just want to devour everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so they're pretty easy to hate because, they just want to eat everything in the galaxy. Like, devour it all.
Yeah.
No, the Orcs just want a good fucking scrap.
Got it. That's good to know, because kind of knowing the motivations of these different factions gives them a lot more, well, one, it kind of makes them all very unique in a much more tangible way than just like how they look, but also it also kind of gives you a better idea of power balance and also like why they all do what they do.
For instance, Chaos that we're going to be fighting here are the Thousand Suns and Tzeentch followers in general are kind of schemers. That's kind of their whole shtick. They scheme and they use magic and duplicity and stuff. So, like, they've got some grand master plan, but, like, the Chaos God Tzeentch kind of has plans layered upon plans upon plans, and we're never really sure, like, what plan he's actually trying to succeed at any time. There's just always machinations in motion for that one.
Okay.
So, like, they're basically, though, their antithesis is the Imperium. They're like, we kind of just don't want the Imperium to succeed. For whatever reason, we want to have the downfall. Each of them has their own different reason, but, like, they want our human species to, like, I don't know, do something else. Like, I know a lot about it, but like to say specific desire of that one is as a part of the setting is kind of hard, especially for Tzeentch. Like Nurgle, everything turns to rot and decay.
Sure.
Like that's easy.
Yeah.
Khorne, bloodbath. Slaanesh, orgies all the time.
Okay. Okay.
You know.
All right. So yeah, the varying levels of bad. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
But they're all kind of bad.
Sure. Okay, that was a good lesson. And I guess thanks for coming to our TED Talk, folks.
And for us as Space Marines, protectors of the Imperium and humanity, kind of. Although Space Marines are not, on the whole, they're kind of seen with like reverence. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, it's an Astartes, it's a Space Marine, an Angel of Death, the Emperor's. You know, we are seen as like high and mighty by the peasant folk.
Sure.
Like they, you know, there's a thing called transhuman dread in the setting, which is not transphobic, but it is essentially seeing a Space Marine is terrifying to a human.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
Because you know we're like 7.5 foot tall monstrosities. Like look at us compared to these fucking
these little dudes.
These guys. These are just humans.
Those are just people.
Yeah. So like comparatively speaking, we are enormous and genetically modified monsters of combat who can snap their neck with like a flick of a wrist.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You've very much transformed from what you once were.
Yeah. And so, to, like, not people that are used to being around them, but even the people that would be around the Space Marines, unless they have a good relationship with them, would probably still kind of be like, yeah, whatever you say, I'm just your servant. I'm not going to get in your way because you could fucking kill me with a stare.
Right.
But yeah, on the whole, the Space Marines are, you know, your elite troops for the Imperium for defending and retaking humanity's worlds.
Sure.
And whatnot.
Sure. So, would you say that, like, the Space Marines had gone through, like, a transhumanist evolution? Like, they think about in terms of, like, the technological advancements that we're making right now, where eventually you won't quite be human because the technology will kind of become part of you in some way. Our Space
in which fashion?
In that the technology and the advancements that they made in order to turn people into Space Marines mean that the Space Marines are no longer really human. They've turned into a different species almost.
I wouldn't say different species. They're still based on, like, you still have to use a human to make a Space Marine.
Sure.
So they're post-human.
Okay.
But they also, like, their viewpoints and, like, how they react to things as opposed to, like, normal humans is very different. Like, the way you see Titus and Chiron and Gadriel here, like, interact is very much not, like...
Yeah.
It's human in that they can interact with each other, but, like, they're not ones for, like, strong emotions or anything like that.
Sure.
Anatomically, I don't think Space Marines even have genitalia, so...
Well, that's kind of why I wonder about, like, the idea of, like, transhumanism, because you'd start as something that's human, but then you essentially, like, end up transforming into something different based on technological advance. I think they usually refer to it when you think about, like, androids or cybernetics and stuff like that. I think that the better example of that would probably be, like, Cyberpunk 2077, where you start to see the people are less human and more machine by that point. But
yeah, there are definitely some Space Marines who aim for that.
Yeah,
like the Iron Hands, for instance, as a chapter are one of their defining, like, mantras or features, I guess you could call it.
Sure,
it's called the flesh is weak.
Okay.
And so, like, one of their things is, like, Chiron there has a bionic arm. If you look at him, his right arm is a bionic. And so Iron Hands, All of them have at least one bionic arm. It's just initiation of the chapter is getting a hand chopped off and replaced with a bionic. You know, because the belief is that the flesh is weak and we should replace as much of us as possible with machine because the machine is unyielding.
Sure.
The same can be said for some of the different sects of the machine cult, the mechanicists that we're working with.
Sure.
Where some of them take it to the extreme of, yeah, pretty much everything but my brain can be replaced by machine. That's fine. But other sects of it are like, no, the human body and the flesh is still its own kind of machine. You know?
Yeah.
The machine god made this perfectly viable body that can do all these crazy amazing functions. Like, it's a perfect machine itself.
That was a good, well, a respite, I guess, from the missions so that we can explain some of the ins and outs of Warhammer for a little bit.
Yeah. Just chatting a little bit as we take in the gothic.
Yeah, we take in this this whole thing. But would you like to go to do maybe a mission?
Yeah,
maybe a mission.
Yeah, we can do a mission or two.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think we should try that.